So, IVF protocol. This is the third time I've attempted this video. It's turned out to be a little bit more complicated than I thought. So I watched back the other videos and just thought they're just not quite right. So I'll make another one. You know, one thing about these videos is I want you to see that I don't want to do too much editing. I just want the video to just be very organic and natural. And then in that way that you can see that I'm speaking from the heart. You know, the words are alive if you don't keep on editing. So yes, IVF protocol. I don't think I need to go into too much detail about what the protocol is. It's all based on statistical analysis, and we have different phases. So first of all, we have the down regulation, and the drug of choice in this country is buserelin to do that. And next we need to stimulate the eggs, and there's a few different drugs that they use. They use Progenova, Gonal F, Menopur, and then there's also Clomid, which comes in before the IVF protocol. So all of these drugs will stimulate the production of the eggs. And then you need the HCG injection to get the eggs to mature very quickly, and then the harvest, and then obviously the in vitro fertilization, and then the replanting. And that's the whole process. So how could acupuncture improve the percentages here? When you think about pregnancy and nesting, think about the environment that's perfect for the baby. The environment needs to be calm, it needs to be nurturing, it needs to be stable. It doesn't want to be busy, it doesn't want to be stimulatory. This goes against the nature of pregnancy. So the first thing we do, and the most important thing we do, is that we remove the stimulatory hormones after they've done their job of maturing the eggs. So the drug of choice at the moment is Gonal F. The Gonal F needs to come out. I hope you can see that. You know, it really makes sense, doesn't it? The Gonal F is very busy, very stimulating, and it's good at its job. It really works. It does make eggs. But once the eggs are there, we don't want it. It becomes poison, it becomes dirt, it becomes something that goes against the nature of pregnancy. And so it needs to come out the body. And one thing that I have explained in these videos again and again is how good acupuncture is at removing things from the body. Whether these things are emotions, viruses, bacteria, medicines, steroids, antibiotics, you know, you could even say EMF, environmental, all this stuff can be removed from the body really successfully with acupuncture. And the Gonal F is no different. We just do one session, and we do it after the Gonal F has finished. So normally this is just before harvest, when they take the eggs. So that's the first and most important step. The second step we do very quickly, because they want replantation within 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. So what we need to do in that gap is we need to bring as much blood and energy into the endometrium, into the uterus. And so obviously we do that by needling local points. We stimulate local points and distal points. So we want to get a flow of energy going into the uterus, into the endometrium. So in this sense, we fully prepare the womb for the replantation. And after years of doing this, I've really come to the conclusion that acupuncture does significantly improve the percentages of success with IVF. And the protocol is easy. That's it. I've just explained to you the whole protocol. We've got 2 steps. Remove the stimulatory hormones at the right time. Timing is everything in this with IVF. And then stimulate the blood flow and the chi in the uterus. And in this sense, this completely prepares the body for this process. The next, I forgot to mention the progesterone. You see, deficiency in progesterone is the most common cause of miscarriage, and so this whole process, the gynecological process of IVF is really, it's perfect actually, it's great. You know, the gynecologists have really got down pat exactly the down regulation, the stimulatory period, the HCG injection, the progesterone, and also the steroids. This whole process manipulates the hormones pretty perfectly. So from one sense, I'd like to sort of, I don't often compliment doctors, but you know, they've done quite well here, and they've gathered data by statistical analysis, and what they have found out is that if you give progesterone, then this improves the percentages. And they've also found out that that if you give steroids, you know, so some women take steroids at the very end, and this also improves the percentages. So we can also do this with acupuncture. We can also, in conjunction with the progesterone pessary, we can also stimulate the production of progesterone with acupuncture. So this is another way that we can maximize the percentages. I've noticed quite a fascinating thing in the last couple of months. The stats are beginning to reflect that the percentages of IVF success are just as good by using less hormones. So I was really surprised when I heard this, but I thought it was great. You know, this is really good. It's evolving, you know. So in a nutshell, that's the whole process. One treatment, I'm going to repeat myself again, one treatment to remove the stimulatory hormones, which prepares for the, let's say, nesting environment or energy. The second is to direct as much chi and blood into the endometrium. The third, which is, we don't always need to do it, but I think it is prudent to do it, is to stimulate the production of progesterone. Now, there is a possibility that I see you before the protocol, because sometimes there needs to be some tidying up. So hormones are such that they can incubate in the body. They stay, this is synthetic hormones, they can stay in the body. So if you've had a past IVF, I might want to see you just to make sure that all of the hormones are out of your body before you start this new cycle. If you've taken a course of Clomid leading up to the IVF that's obviously that hasn't worked, that's failed, then sometimes this Clomid can still be in the body and it needs to be removed. You know, Clomid is quite a powerful drug, and it can cause side effects. So, and lately, and also they've become kind of more relaxed about the amount of Clomid that they give. You know, a couple years back, they would only give maybe 2, maybe 3 courses of Clomid. Each course is 3 months long, so that's 6-9 months. And now they're quite happy to give a year. So it's quite a lot of hormones. So if you have had Clomid, then there's also a possibility that you come maybe a couple of months before or a month before, and then we just check that it's all come out, because it can stay in the body and it can cause hyperstimulation. Obviously, hyperstimulation can only happen whilst you're taking the Clomid. It doesn't happen after, so I don't want to worry anyone unnecessarily. Nevertheless, whenever you take hormones, this, after they've done their magic, you know, after they've caused these changes in the body, there is some residue, there's something left over in the energy of the body, it's in the chi, and it's a good idea, it's just prudent to remove that from the body before you start the next cycle. And so that's the whole cycle. I mean, I guess if you have any questions, you could, you know, this video is going to be on YouTube. I'm quite happy for anyone to just put in the comments below a question, and I'll see if I can answer it, and if it's a good enough question, I'll maybe make another video about it.